In this video, you're going to learn how to set up UTM tracking for your Facebook ads. So basically what UTM tracking allows you to do is get more data and more granularity inside your Google Analytics report. And that's fantastic, and it's really important right now, especially because with Apple's upcoming iOS 14 privacy changes, they're due to come in March 2021 at the moment. So depending on when you're watching this, they might already be in place or they might not. But basically when those changes roll out, we're going to lose quite a bit of data inside of our Facebook ad reports. So UTM tracking and UTM parameters are one way to actually still get that data, but get it via Google Analytics, because Google Analytics and UTM tracking will not be affected by this change. And in case you're thinking, well, I'm already using Google Analytics, why do I have to set something else up? Basically, if you're using Google Analytics, it probably looks something like this right now. And as you can see, we've only got really generic information here. We've got Google organic, we've got direct, none, which basically means Google Analytics doesn't know where the traffic came from. We've got Facebook and l.facebook.com. Again, I don't know if that's organic traffic from Facebook or ad traffic from Facebook. And then you can see my email platform, active campaign, YouTube, Instagram. It's all just super generic. I've got no idea where, in terms of which content, the actual clicks are coming from, and I can't track that through to conversions properly because I just don't know if it's organic, if it's ads, or what it is. But when we set up our UTM parameters and our UTM tracking for our Facebook ads, I'm going to be able to see exactly which campaign, which ad set, and which ad was responsible for the click, and I can track that right through to conversions. And I'll even be able to see how much revenue came from particular ads that people clicked in Facebook. So you can see now in this example of a Google Analytics account that uses UTM parameters, I've got much more detail. I've got Facebook ads in the Facebook newsfeed. I've got Facebook ads and Instagram stories. I've even got Instagram organic in the Instagram feed, so I can split out organic versus ads. It's a much more detailed report, and I can further drill down and then see exactly which ad it was. So you can see I've got image 1, text 1, image 2, text 1, etc., etc. And the best part again is that this won't be affected by the upcoming iOS 14 changes. So once those privacy changes roll out, I'm still going to be able to get this same data if I set up my UTM parameters correctly inside of Google Analytics. That's the good news. The bad news is that UTM parameters do have some downsides. And the main thing you need to know about is they really break down when it comes to cross-domain tracking. So for example, if I have a page on my website, let's say I'm using andrewhubbard.co/webinar, and I'm sending ad traffic to that page and people can sign up for a webinar. Now, if I do that and I have my UTM parameters set up properly and people sign up for the webinar, and let's say the thank you page that people see immediately after registering for the webinar is andrewhubbard.co/thank you. Well, that's going to track just fine. And I'm going to be able to track everything inside my Google Analytics report with great detail. However, if I was using a webinar platform and I was using one of their own built-in thank you pages on one of their subdomains, so for example, if my thank you page was andrewhubbard.easywebinar.com/thank you, then that conversion wouldn't track properly and I wouldn't be able to see in my reports which ad that person came through before converting. And I should say inside my Google Analytics reports there specifically, because I'm crossing over onto the Easy Webinar domain when before I was on my andrewhubbard.co domain. So that's the downside. If you do use a lot of different domains when you're running Facebook ads and people are hitting your site and then crossing over to multiple different domains, it's not going to be as good for you. Is it still worth doing? Absolutely. Definitely set UTM parameters up. But just know that there is that downside. So you should be trying to get everything on the same domain wherever possible to make this tracking as good as it can potentially be. Okay, so now we're going to head over to the Ads Manager. I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your UTM parameters for your Facebook ads. Now, the first thing you want to do is create a new campaign just like you would normally create a campaign. So I'll just do it quickly here. I'll choose a conversion campaign and click continue. And what you need to do from here is go down to the ad level. So you'd set up your campaign just as you would normally, nothing different there in terms of how you set up your campaign. This simple change is just happening at the ad level. So go to your ad, scroll down to the bottom and set up your ad, as you normally would, put in your URL. So I'm going to show you right here. I will put this in as my URL. Now, once you've done that, scroll down to the bottom And you'll see down here, you've got URL parameters optional. All we want to do is click build a URL parameter. Now from here, we just enter data into each of these fields. Now the campaign source, I like to put Facebook ads, okay? I like to leave it as Facebook ads, meaning the source of this traffic is Facebook ads. Campaign medium. Now this is where I like to put my placement. So I just click here and I click placement. Now what this means with the double curly brackets is it's going to enter a dynamic piece of data in here, meaning Facebook will pre-fill the placement placeholder here with whatever placement the person clicked on. So this will automatically get filled in with the placement that the ad was shown. So you don't have to set this up manually. You just put it in there, say placement, Facebook will automatically populate whatever the placement is. Next, campaign name. I like to put in campaign name, and that's going to take the name of my actual ad campaign and pop it in here as my UTM parameter. Now, campaign content, I actually like to put ad name. So it's going to put my actual ad name in here and send it over. And then I like to add a parameter and just put in ad set name. And then the value here is the ad set name. So now it's going to send all of those different dynamic pieces of data over to Google Analytics via our UTM parameters. Now we simply click apply. You can see down here it's got URL parameters here, and it's got all of those UTM parameters that we just entered. Now what's going to happen is whenever somebody clicks on the link in your ad, so you can see I've got my link right here, Facebook will automatically append those URL parameters on the end of your URL every time. So you don't need to enter them manually. You just enter the URL by itself like this. Now I should note, if you add the URL into the primary text of your ad, and somebody clicks on the URL inside the copy or the primary text of your ad, then the UTM parameters will be applied as well. So this is a great way to do it because it's going to add the URL parameters to the text inside your copy without you having to manually add them inside the copy and making the link look like a big, long, ugly mess, right? So whenever somebody clicks it, it's automatic. Now, one thing I'll note is if you preview your ads and you want to test those links and you click the links, Facebook will not add the URL parameters or the UTM parameters to those links when you're viewing it as a preview, but it will when the ad is live. So don't stress if you go and you test your ads and you click the links and you notice that the UTM parameters haven't been added. It will actually be added when it's live and when real users are clicking your ads. It just won't show up when you're testing, okay? So really important to note that. So that's it. That's all you have to do to set up the parameters. What I think is really important and what I'm going to show you now is how to actually use this data and view it inside Google Analytics. All right, so back over to the computer, and now I'm on my Google Analytics dashboard. So if you go to Google Analytics, which is analytics.google.com, this is how you actually see the data that is coming through via your UTM parameters. Okay, so let's go down to acquisition, and we'll click that drop down, and then we'll go to all traffic, source/medium. Now you can see we've got Google Organic, Direct, None, but if you scroll down a little bit, we can actually see Facebook ads and the Facebook newsfeed, Facebook ads, Instagram stories. We've got Instagram organic, we've got Instagram referral, and I think if we click show more, we'll probably see some YouTube stuff. So YouTube and then video description. So somebody clicked a link from my YouTube video description. So we can actually see now we're getting more granular data. And we can go up here and click on other, search for content, click add content. Now we can actually see the actual ads people clicked on. So we've got image 1, text 1, image 2, text 1, image 2, text 2, organic carousel ad, and everything else that we've got coming through. So this report actually shows you which individual piece of content people are clicking on when they're coming through. And you can see here, I've got my goals over here. So if you have goal tracking set up inside Google Analytics, you will actually be able to see how many leads you got from these and even how many sales, and the conversion value from those sales will show up right here in the analytics report as well. So I'm going to go back to source medium, and I'm going to actually go secondary dimension, and I'm going to search for content here and click on that. And that's going to give the column here next to the source. So now I can actually see Facebook ads newsfeed, and they clicked image 1, text 1, and I can go through and see how many pages they visited. I can see how many times they completed certain goals and everything else. So you can see I've got that much more granular data. So now that you know how to view it inside Google Analytics, you really are off to the races. You've got your UTM parameters set up. You're going to be able to see this inside Google Analytics and understand your data better. And you'll be even better prepared for when you lose some data inside Facebook when the iOS 14 privacy changes all roll out. Okay, that is it for this video. If you liked it, all that I ask seriously is that you click the like button underneath. It's totally free, quick and easy to do, and it does make a huge difference to the channel, so I really do appreciate it. And of course, if you want to hear more from me, just click the subscribe button, hit that little bell to get notified whenever I release a new video. As always, thank you for watching, I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.